Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols.
Now that I'm full-time counseling and, working with kids, and what's interesting is the dynamic that relationships that mom and dad have and the dramatic influence and impact that they have on their children. And, so it's kind of interesting, working with the kids, but then you're talking to mom and dad, and sometimes mom and dad's actions or behaviors or just the way that they talk about each other and to each other really kind of gives some indication that, well, maybe you're part of the reason why your child is having some problems.
Sure.
And so,
the environment we grew up in, I think, definitely has an effect.
Oh, absolutely. Bar none. Bar none. I mean, I didn't have to be into counseling to see that. 23 years in school, you can absolutely see that play out.
Yeah, the difference is evident.
Oh, yeah. So we've talked about this before, but I do enjoy watching Facebook Reels. And they've got some funny ones on there. They've got comedians. They've got ones I've been watching lately have been epic backyard swim pool fails, people trying to, or swimming fails.
Those are funny.
Yes. So I'm scrolling through those and and something just popped up. I don't know what algorithm they picked to just randomly send you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this one really clicked. And so I was thinking maybe we could explore that a little bit today. But they titled it 8 Marriage Rules.
Okay.
And I figured, well, you are a long time married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more happily married round 2 than I ever was really in round 1.
Yeah. And
so I thought, maybe we could explore this a little bit, have some fun with it. And, because I figure, this works for pretty much any and all relationships. It doesn't even have to be marriage.
Yeah. And I also think that this is a good revisit of probably several episodes that we've had so far this year.
Yeah.
On different topics. So it just kind of highlights a few things that we've already said in various other conversations. So
okay.
I think this is a good one.
All right. So, and it was really interesting. We'll start with the first one. And it says, you should marry your best friend, not your fantasy.
Sure.
And I have to say that Sherry and I were friends and became very good friends before the idea of serious dating or, marriage popped into my mind.
Right.
And so I thought, okay. And I know you've talked about you and Eileen. Of course, you also have kind of mentioned it was a little love at first sight. So
it was, at least on my part.
Okay. Well, I was at a wedding a long time ago. And the preacher was sharing, he says, you don't marry somebody you can live with. You marry somebody you can't live without.
Sure.
And I thought that really fit into this number one suggestion for a successful or happy or healthy marriage. Mm-hmm. And because, they always say beauty is only skin deep.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I like that first one.
Sure. No, it's a good one. And I think that's important. I mean, my wife and I developed a friendship. I mean, to be honest, we broke up 3 times before we ever got engaged.
Okay.
So they weren't long periods, but they were times where, I think we both got to discover a little bit more about who we were. Granted, we were, 18, 19 years old at the time. So that, discovering who you are at that age is probably, we think we knew who we were, but we probably didn't for a number of years. But we like to say that we grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of ways. So I certainly don't regret it. I'm not suggesting that everybody go out and get married at 18, 19 years old, but you know, it worked for us. And I think that the process that we went through of being friends, finding out what we enjoy together, spending that time together, I think that's all valid, right? For every relationship. You know, you don't want to have somebody that's completely the opposite and you don't enjoy anything together, because then you'll never spend time together. But you also have like things that maybe each other doesn't like, right? And you're going to have to participate in those things too.
Yeah.
And some of those I've come to really enjoy, and I think she has as well. So it's a matter of, I think that growing together is important, right? And so if you marry somebody that is your friend, you will grow together, right? You will want to prioritize that relationship and spend more time with them probably than anybody else.
Well, I mean, think about it. Who do you spend your time, who do you spend your non-sleeping, non-working time with? Your friends.
Sure.
And so, again, that's why I thought it was.
I think it's a great one. And I think that second part of that, not your fantasy, right? I mean, your fantasy is just that, right? It's a fantasy. That's not real world. It's the airbrushed, idealized thing that you think is perfect, and it's probably a disaster.
Yeah.
So go for the friendship over that fantasy.
Well,
I think that's definitely a truth.
Yes. All right. So the second one I thought was just logical. And it says, stop trying to win arguments, win peace instead.
So I've had to learn this more recently.
Okay.
My wife has been very good at this for a long time.
Okay.
I found out that basically she has kept the peace, right, and allowed me to, win some things that I probably shouldn't have, because she'd just rather have peace, right? So I've definitely found this skill a little bit more, and at 32 years in, almost 33, like I just don't care about winning an argument. It doesn't matter.
No,
right?
you're.
I mean, especially most of the arguments that people have that they will die on that hill are just silly, right? Silly, stupid things that you don't need to win it. You can just let it go, right? It's like scrolling on, right? Don't let that thing upset you. Just move on.
Well, it comes back to what kind of core value are you arguing here?
Sure.
And if at the end of the day you're just arguing over something silly and it now becomes a tit for tat or a tug of war, and it's no longer about the topic or the issue, it's all about the win or the lose.
Sure.
Well, now, you're, again, when I was married to Eric's mother, there was a lot more of this.
Yeah.
Especially by me at the end, because I felt like there was no peace.
Right.
And everything was an argument, and it was a win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
So,
well, and when one person is doing that, I mean, that's an issue. And I think that's where you somebody like you comes in, right? There needs to be a counselor in that. You need a third person to kind of help you mediate that situation and learn from it so that you can have a better relationship. I mean, there are psychological issues and things like that need to be addressed sometimes. And that doesn't mean like throw in the towel, get the divorce and move on, right? That means if you love that person, like work on it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's kind of what
stand by them.
Way, the divorce recovery group that I've restarted is all about.
Yeah.
Helping not only recover from the previous marriage, but how to, future relationships that you get into, how to avoid the pitfalls so that you can be stronger and better prepared, when new relationships begin.
Right.
So the third thing, and this is part of that too, is talk about hard things while they're small before they become big explosions.
Yeah. And I equate this to something that we often said to each other, which was don't go to bed angry. Now, being as far into marriage as I am, that's not always possible.
Yeah.
You may still be a little bit angry, but don't let it be like the explosion kind of angry. Right. at least talk about it. At least get it out there and begin the conversation. The kinds of things that lead to massive explosions are usually a little bit bigger than the things we were just talking about. And it's a process, and you've got to start somewhere. So don't let it just fester, right? If you're not talking, then you're not solving, is kind of the way I see it.
Sure. It's one, and if you talk when you're angry, then you're not problem solving.
Yeah.
And so Sherry and I have worked on this. Probably she didn't have to work near as hard as I have because she just comes by it naturally. But I have to take time away. I need to calm myself down, breathe,
Yeah.
and begin to ask the questions. Okay, what am I really upset about?
Yeah.
And when you're not emotional, when your fight or flight instincts aren't driving your conversation, you can create, a more logical argument, and you can say, okay, this is what happened. It happened this morning. It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
This is what I heard. This is how, this is how I felt. This is what I was interpreting by what was said or what was happening. And this is why it made me upset.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you swallow it, well, it's going to happen another time and another time and another time. And then you're going to have that big explosion. And you have what in my marriage and family class in college, they called the everything, including the kitchen sink fight.
Exactly. So if you just let all the little things never get resolved, you're going to have a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be in constant communication. I mean, that's what relationship is, right?
Sure.
You've got to be in constant communication and in that problem resolution mode. And it really does pay off in the end. Like our marriage is so much easier today than it was 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or even 15 years ago. So it's just, we've gotten to know each other so deeply that a lot of things just aren't even an issue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it really does pay off if you can take it that far.
Sure.
That's pretty important. I like this next one.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't you go share it with us?
So this one says flirt with each other even after years, right? And I like this one in part because, and I didn't know we were going to talk about this morning. But like this morning, I created a meme. I found a nice picture of my wife and I at Disney, and I created a meme out of it to send to her about, kind of what she means to me. Right?
Okay.
And I love memes, so I made a meme and I texted it to her, and she was like, "Oh, it was sweet, right?" Mm-hmm. And I just like to do things like that. I like to try to keep it alive. But I just genuinely love her, so I want to communicate that to her as often as I can, in different ways, and that's keeping it alive, right?
Sure.
It's not just, oh, we dated, we got married, and now it's just something else, right? I mean, there's so much stuff out there that is really a lie that just says, once you get married, this doesn't happen anymore, nobody cares about anything. Well, that only happens if you don't care.
Uh-huh.
Right? I mean, you have to care. You have to keep caring. You have to remember, why did you get together?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What was that about? And so I'm just frequently doing like, hey, here's a memory,
Mm-hmm.
Text that to her, whatever. I mean, those are pretty easy things to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have to write letters anymore. That's what we used to do.
Well,
because
true.
we've been married that long
Yeah.
that we started out writing letters and mailing them in that old-fashioned mail system that only only junk mail uses nowadays. So, but you got to keep it alive.
Well, okay. I've said this many times. Relationships are like a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And these little furry things are small deposits. You're putting deposits into your account so that when you need to make a big withdrawal, you're covered.
Yeah. I mean, that's important. And it could be anything, right? Like my wife and I, we go out to places. I frequently hold her hand.
Same here.
We do that. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just, it's natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're together.
It's little things
Plus,
that
I
can.
don't want anybody to know that she's not with me.
Well, there you go. There you go. We're gonna crush that before it even enters somebody's thought. Well, and that brings up then the next one, which is, and I have shared this so many times. Sherry and I talk about this frequently. I'm not a mind reader. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Tell me what's on your mind and speak it clearly. The number of times that, it's kind of like, well, you're mumbling, or hold on, I need to turn my music down. You're behind, the TV's on, you're behind the computer screen, you're facing away from me, and you're speaking in a low voice.
Yeah.
Can you turn around? Tell me. Just tell me. I can't fix what I don't know is broken.
Yeah.
And so this was something that I had a big problem with Eric's mother. Yeah. Obviously, we had a problem because that's why we got divorced.
Sure.
But I can't read minds. And so you should know.
Right.
Is a statement that really kind of bothers me. It's kind of like, how am I supposed to know? Why am I supposed to be able to read your thoughts and correctly interpret your body language?
Right. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, right? You should already know. That's like saying, calm down. Nobody responds to those things well, right? Those are like negative presuppositions, but you've got to communicate, but I think it's also important that, like, you need to give space, right? Sometimes people need to process more. My wife needs to process more before she speaks, and so I just let that happen, right? I mean, she will come to me and she will talk about it soon, right? I might prod a little bit, and then when she does speak about it, I've learned that it's not necessarily to fix it. It's just because she wants to get it out.
To vent?
Not so much to vent as to because I feel like venting means like, let me just drop this on you.
Okay.
Right. But to just express herself and what her feelings are, and not necessarily have me like come up with some kind of clinical way to fix the problem. But maybe she just wants to talk it out and talk it through, and it might just be something she's dealing with, and she just wants me to know she's dealing with it. And it doesn't necessarily require me to fix it. I think guys often are like, okay, let me fix it. And women are like, I didn't ask you to fix it. I just wanted to tell you.
Which is what, Sherry says all the time. That's what she calls it, venting. I just need to release some pressure from the pressure cooker here that I am in. And me, I'm the kind of person, like you just said, I want to try and fix it. How can I make it better? How can I alleviate your, this issue that is causing, stress in your life?
So more often now I approach this from so just, you can get it out, right? And then we can discuss, does anything need to happen? Because sometimes it's just, let me get it out. I just want to let you know how I'm feeling. And then if my response is, okay, well then let me just affirm, right? Like, those are real feelings. You're welcome to have those, right? I mean, you're not giving permission to have them, but like, just, I guess, whatever your term would be, to affirm them.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes. No, that's a good word.
Affirm those feelings, that they're valid, right? There may be something I can do to adjust. I don't necessarily have to do it to fix whatever caused it. I can adjust in the future. I can take that into account and say, okay, well, next time I'll do something different.
And, yes. Sometimes, frequently I'll do something or not do something.
Sure.
And it creates a problem. And so Sherry's kind enough to let me know. And of course, I want to try and avoid those pitfalls, so I'll try and do better.
Yeah.
But again, it's speak it. And and this ties right in with, don't let things become big. Address them when they're small, so that way they don't grow to be big mountains. And so, again, don't assume I know. Don't assume I know what's going on in your mind.
Yeah.
Just communicate.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the next one seems kind of obvious, but yet it seems I hear this a lot about family. And this one I like because it says protect your marriage from outsiders, even your family.
Yeah.
And your marriage is your marriage.
Yeah.
And what you do what works for you.
Right.
And again, we say marriage here, but it could be any relationship. All right. And it's yours.
Yeah.
And well, you should do it this way. Well, I'm not you, so why should I do what works for you?
Right. I think of a phrase that we had when we were kids about this, and that is and this is fun, right? You can pick your nose. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Right. So your family you were born into that. Like you don't really have a choice. Right. So, and even if you're adopted, right, like they chose you. You didn't necessarily choose them. It depends, how old you were when that took place. And so you really can't pick them. However, you have made a choice in your relationship with your spouse or, that significant other, whoever that is. You've made that choice and you've made that commitment to that person. That's a commitment you didn't make to your family. You were born into it. Right. And so you have a kind of a natural commitment to that, but you made a choice to be with that other person. And so I think that has to be the highest priority. Right. That's the one person. You haven't committed to be with your family for life. Everybody's going to die off and whatever, right? But like you've committed to be with that one person for life, if that's the value made. And so, you need to try to do that as much as possible, right? As with fidelity. So that is the focus. And, we've been like that. We've done that. We've focused on, ourselves and our relationship in that. And that sounds selfish, right? But that's the commitment we made, and that's who we're becoming. It doesn't say we ignored our family.
Right.
It's just where's the priority, right? So our extended family is underneath that, and they're very important to us. And we visit them every summer as often as we can, right? As many people as we can see. I mean, I drove 4,500 miles this year just to do that. So that's important. But that person you've chosen to spend that lifetime with is definitely more important than anybody else.
And I sometimes feel that this is like a generational thing where, parents tell your children, look, this is what you need to do for, why aren't you doing this? Well, why are you letting your children do that? Or why are you letting, your spouse, you should do this, or, different things. And I know it comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is my relationship.
Yeah.
And we're going to, this is what's working. Now, I will say that I probably should have listened more to my family early on with Eric's mom.
Yeah.
But I'm going, this is how we're choosing to do things. Now, it turns out they were more right on that, but they had a lot of the same concerns with Sherry.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, no. I did a better job this time.
It's funny how everybody has, and we've been guilty of this too. Like everybody has an opinion about your relationship, and they're not in it as closely as you are. So it doesn't. There may be some things that they see that you can't, and those could be valid. People did this about us too. There was some people who were convinced we would be divorced within a year.
Okay.
And, we're approaching 33. So clearly that's not the case.
Sure.
But, given that we were 18, 19, 20 years old when we got married, I can understand that, right? Like there's a danger there. But we were more committed than I think most people are at that age. So it's a matter of your commitment. Like this isn't like approaching a marriage, getting into a marriage. It's not like some kind of utopia.
No.
Right? It's work.
Well,
and you have to make it work if you want to.
And if the only thing that family knows are the negatives because you call somebody to just kind of blow a little steam off, to vent. Well, all they're hearing is the negative. They're not seeing and hearing all the positives. And so, I mean, I have nieces and nephews that I look at their relationship and I'm going, really? But look, I need to accept that, look, that's their relationship. And if it's working for them and they're all happy, then yahoo.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? Just because it won't work, it's not your idea of what a relationship should be like.
Especially if they're adults, right? Like ultimately, it's their life and they have to make it the happiest that they can make it. And so at some point, you have to let them just do it.
Yes.
And is it going to be successful every time? Not necessarily, right? But then that's part of the challenge of life. How do we deal with things when they don't go perfectly? So it is important, though, to protect your marriage. Speak to as few people as possible about negative things, right? Find close friends or a counselor to talk to for those things. Don't just spew it out at the Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. Yes. Which brings us to the next one, which I think you and I have really done well with, but it is grow individually to stay together.
Yeah. So, you're still two different people, right? And you need, the idea of marriage says that you're one in most religions, right? And definitely in law, you're still really one and to some extent, but you're also two. And while you may have many things that you like together, you still need to be able to have an individuality. I think, to be honest, we struggle with this.
Do you?
Because we're both teachers.
Okay.
She went into teaching and then I went into teaching. And I think to some extent that's I stole her profession kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'm not speaking of that as though it's negative on her, right? Like those are real feelings. We're at different levels. So I think we've worked that out for a long time. But I mean, that was a thing, right? Like that was her thing. And then I cut into it. And so, but you still have to be individual. She likes things I don't necessarily like. She goes out and runs. I don't run, I'm like the Back to the Future thing. Run for fun. What the kind of fun is that?
Yeah,
right?
no kidding.
No, I mean, I do enjoy a little bit of interval training, but I like to walk.
Okay.
She does the run. We do some different things that allows us to be individuals. So you've got to have some of that, but then you got to have time together too, right? Like you've got to have date nights and you got to have those kinds of things. So find things you can do together and also be individuals.
Thank you. That was something that, has helped Sherry and I. She has her thing she likes to do. She loves to put together puzzles.
Yeah.
Me, I'll have, game night. I play Magic the Gathering. Been playing that since the mid 90s. And so
you haven't won yet?
Well, yes, I win.
Oh, I was going to say.
I don't win all the time.
Clearly,
but
I don't know how it works anyway.
But it's a fun card game.
Yeah.
And so I go play with the guys. And heck, there's been times where we'd make a weekend of it.
Right.
And I play Dungeons and Dragons. And so play with a different group of friends. And we go do that. And she's fine with that. She goes, ooh, I do not want to go. I go, would you like to just go and hang out and visit? No. That's your thing. You go.
Yeah.
And she goes and gets manicures and pedicures. And I'm going, ooh, yeah, no, that's your thing. I don't want to do that. And so, but you're right. You've got to have, you can't be together 24/7.
Yeah.
You've got to have your own individuality.
Yeah. I mean, just for an example, like this podcast that's a thing that I do with you. And she, she's been on. She would come on again, but she, it's not something that she necessarily wants to do.
Yeah.
She even went on another podcast with me.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really cool. Thank you for sharing the link.
I've connected to this podcast, but we have different things. When I do that, she does something else. And
that's what helps you grow. At least I think.
Well, if you're two individuals still, then guess what? There's something to talk about.
Yes. Right? Finding that balance. Too much of one way or the other can lead to catastrophe.
Right. Otherwise, you're just watching reruns forever.
Which is the final thing. Not reruns. But it talks about love. And we've done done a podcast specifically on the word love.
Recently.
But I like the idea that they put on here. Love is not always a feeling. Sometimes it is a choice.
Sure.
And I like the idea. I'm choosing to love you. And so therefore, there's expectations from that.
Right. Yeah, I think that that's really important. Again, we did a whole podcast on this recently. It's only a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
So I definitely encourage people to go listen to that. But I've said this for years, and I think the first time I mentioned this to you, you were like, that was interesting. But it's that idea that it's about actions, right? And so the action of me taking time to create a meme that shows my wife that I love her, and sending that to her, doing that flirting thing we mentioned earlier. I mean, it does a number of these things on this list, right? It's letting me know letting her know I love her. It's flirting. It's protecting our marriage. It's doing, it's all kinds of things. But it's that act that I did something.
Exactly.
Right.
Deeds, not words.
Right. It's not all emotion. It's, I did something that's going to show you, right? Rather than just say it. And don't get me wrong, saying it is important.
Oh, yes.
Right.
But
especially for guys, right? Like to say it is really important. I think I say it a lot. I try to say it every morning before she leaves or I leave, and at night, because I think that's really important. And it's not just words.
Yes.
But throughout the day, I show her in other ways.
And again, it's love is an action word. It is
right. It's a verb.
Yes. And again, it's not just it's not just what we say. It also has to be what we do.
Yeah.
And when you do say it, you got to actually put feeling into it. You got to mean it. Mean what you say.
Right.
And say what you mean.
I mean, I think these are great. Those are great ways to live, great ways to think about your marriage, and maybe just find one or two that you could do better.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it'll make an improvement. And this isn't just about marriage, right? It's about any relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you've got a close friendship or a close relationship that you really care about, then this will help make it stronger. Right. At least grow stronger, develop stronger, stay stronger.
Sure.
So
awesome.
Anyway, well, that we've actually gone a little over on time today, but I appreciate it. So until next time, I'm Rod.
I'm Scott.
See you later.
Bye-bye.